Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare. How many of the devotees here have participated in a Japa retreat before this one? The other way around. How many of the devotees have not participated in a Japa retreat like this before this one today? Really? That's a lot. Welcome. Welcome. Huh. How many here have already completed 64 rounds today? Wow. How many that didn't raise your hand plan before the end of the day 64 rounds today? Okay. Okay. For those of you that were not with us the whole, I'll just say it in any case, we spent Friday evening, Saturday, multiple classes, multiple sharings, in order to prepare ourselves for today. And ideally, the intention of yesterday and Friday evening was to provide some go power, some impetus, some inspirational thoughts to absorb yourself in, to help you absorb in the chanting of holy name. But at the end of the day, it's the holy name. It's you and the holy name, and the mercy that flows from the holy name to the devotees. In the bigger picture of our spiritual lives, the chanting of the holy name is the most effective. That's what we do. We chant the holy name, and the most effective way of removing the obstacles that are in the way of us and the goal, the pure consciousness goal, is stuff inside, anarthas or upadis or things that are unwanted, abhadras in the language of the Bhagavatam. And the chanting, it's from our side it's the chanting, and from Krishna's side it's the holy name, because Krishna and the holy name are different, so it's a cleansing effect. That was what we did the first day. Chaita, Darpana, Marjanam, the cleansing of the mirror of the heart or consciousness or the mind, so that we can come closer and come closer and come closer to the stage of immersed chanting. So this time together is a time commonly where the devotees can share with one another what your experience was. It doesn't always have to be fantastic. Sometimes it's not at all fantastic. Sometimes it's, I struggled. Ooh, did I struggle? But I kept going. And I'll share one thing. I remember very, very clearly. We, for a number of years, Badahari Prabhu, some of you know who is Badahari Prabhu. Badahari is a human glubjaman. Glubjaman. You've heard of a glubjaman before? Glubjaman is that little round cheese ball. Round cheese ball. It's soft, and it's soft because inside is juice, sweet juice. It's cheese, but inside is sweet juice. So when you touch the glubjaman, this juice comes out, and when you bite it. So he's like a human glubjaman. You just touch him, and he's juice. He does many things. He's celebrated kirtanir in the Hare Krishna movement, and a wonderful devotee and a dear friend. So we were every year conducting a Japa retreat in Gitanagari at our farm community there. And we stayed in the same place. And then in the morning we were coming down after the 64 round day. And I'm driving the car, driving down the roadway to get to the temple. And I asked him, how'd it go? He said, dry as a desert. And I was, what? Badahari, dry as a desert? No such thing. You're a human glubjaman. I didn't say that. But my silence and my body language told him, was like, what? And he said, from the beginning of my chanting of japa yesterday, it was so dry, it was really hard. I was in disbelief. The holy name plus Badahari equals bliss. So dry. But I kept going. I kept going. And as he kept going, he understood a few things. I need some mercy from the holy name. So he entered into a prayerful mood of praying to the holy name as he was chanting for mercy, like a little water in the middle of the desert, please. And then all of a sudden, it was just a torrential downpour of rain. He didn't know what happened. But it just became sublime. And then it was, let it not end. But then the day ended. So my point is, even for a very, very, triple very advanced person, it can be a struggle. And it doesn't always end with a happy smile like it did with Badahari. It can just go on till the next Japa retreat. And it's a relationship, and why it was what it was between him and Krishna, that's between those two. But it's a relationship, and the mercy, the ability to become a taste, to have the stage of attraction and taste and absorption. That's a matter of the heart, our heart becoming cleansed, and so we continue whether it's this or whether it's that. Because the holy name is Krishna, and Krishna is very merciful, and the essence of bhakti is to be connected to the all-merciful, and we forgot. We checked out. We're out to lunch. Sorry, nobody home. And now we're trying to re-establish that relationship with Krishna, and it took us a while to get to the point of trying to re-establish. So be patient and let it take some time to become re-established. And in between now and when it becomes re-established, there's going to be ups and downs and good times and bad times and in between. And so this Japa retreat is an attempt to get closer to that reviving of our relationship with Krishna position. And so this is an opportunity to share what your experience was. This is personal. So if you don't want to share what your experience was, it's okay. But it's an opportunity to share what you experienced, good, bad, or ugly, doesn't matter. Yeah. Hare Krishna. We have a portable microphone. Look at this. Here it comes.
How you doing, Maharaj? My name is Meru. Just want to say pleasure meeting you. It's an honor. I wanted to meet you for a long time. So...
Have we met before?
Never met, but I go to 2nd Avenue a lot, and your disciple Atma there, he sends regards. Yeah, he's very inspiring to me, so because of a lot of respect for him, I wanted to meet you, so...
Okay, so welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. So the experience of seeing so many devotees in here, so many people who have such a faith in the name, practicing it, is just transforming to different planet, it's just so amazing, it gives you kind of energy to continue. Seeing to the left, you see different people, and to the right, you see a little kid doing it. Just kind of opens your heart, so.
Good.
Yeah, it's just something else. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Did you start early in the morning today?
Yeah, I came with Yugala Preeti, so she brought me here, so.
Do you have an idea of how many rounds you chanted so far today?
Not many. I mean, but I'm gonna try it. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate all the traveling you do too. Thank you.
I didn't expect you'd be the first one to raise your hand, but when you raised your hand, I was like, wow, this is great. Thank you for coming and participating.
Guru Maharaj, this is Jaypal. I'm also new to chanting.
You're new to chanting?
Yeah, I wanted to get the Japa Retreat so that I get, benefit out of this. So
you look like you've been at it for a long time.
Yeah, I'm so blissful to have this opportunity, Guru Maharaj. I'm almost done, 61, so 3 more to go.
Wow, good.
So,
good.
So as you recommended, I was doing one at a time, one round, not worrying about, am I going to do 64? So,
You'll make it.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj.
And your experience?
It was blissful. So I was just going into that rhythm. Initially it was always thoughts come, you have to just get it going and keep going. And then that's how you get that rhythm back. So I was able to get it. Thank you.
Okay. So today, when you complete 64, it'll be the first time in your life you've completed 64.
Yes. On one day.
Huh?
On a given day.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm started doing 16 a day.
Good.
Almost 4 weeks now.
Good.
But first time doing 64.
Good. May you have many more.
Many more, yes.
Next to you?
Haribol.
This is the first time I'm hearing Prabhuji talking today whole day. He was completely maintaining the silence.
But he's inspired.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
This is my second Japa retreat, so had a great learning from the last time. So took all the inputs in terms of the trainings and the clarity that we got since Friday, tried to incorporate that. And I was super excited that the Japa retreat is coming, so I kind of wanted to test myself out. So 2 weeks ago, I tried the same thing on myself, failed miserably in so many different ways. Was not able to focus countless times, right? So I think pacing ourselves out, starting our day right, I think that definitely helped. And all the clarity that you provided in terms of focusing on the mantra, and even the strategy that Paramrupa Prabhuji shared on focusing on the form of Krishna, starting from the toe all the way till face, I think that has definitely helped. It helped. For the first time, I actually feel like I was back to back in all the rounds. I was able to focus more than usual. Obviously, the mind would get, bewildered here and there, but I would always be able to bring it back. So thank you so much for this amazing experience. It was just amazing.
And how many rounds you completed so far?
64 I did. And I was able to complete it much early in the day because it started off at like 3:30. I was like super excited. I just wanted to do it. So just wanted to share that.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
I'm ready. Are you ready? Go ahead.
So this is my first 64 rounds. Never crossed 4 rounds of chanting in my life. So this is 64, and I'm thrilled from the experience what I'm right now experiencing. I think what is really out of those 6 things which you mentioned about being cleanliness, patience, mind, subduing the mind, all that has been automatically being applied as I started my rounds, and I did not have to really force myself to do anything, and it was automatically getting into those into me. I added one more, which is service. This is our cooking service week, our Bhakti Vriksha. So I added service in the middle, and then it actually helped even more faster to do my rounds faster. So one experience I'm not sure whether I should share, but when I look at him, he's actually very naughty, when I sit there, and then he's actually moving, he's actually changing. I got that feeling, Prabhu, Maharaj. I'm not sure whether that is true or it's just me who's thinking that way.
You're an elevated Vaishnav.
No.
He does all those things and more, but not everyone does he disclose.
Like his necklace moved from the morning. I observed where the position was. It's definitely moved. I can.
Two things. It's the same. The deity form is the same deity form that everyone sees, but different persons see and experience. Not just see, but experience a relationship with the deity. Same deity, different experience. And how that experience flows, it's a reciprocation, but it's from the side of Krishna. He can do what he likes. And that's what he does. He does what he likes. So that he's doing like this with you. However, he's doing everyone else in the room may not be seeing or experiencing what you're seeing or experiencing, but he's reciprocating with you, and therefore you should take it. It's the kindness of Krishna, it's the mercy of Krishna. He's exhibiting his kindness in this way. Because not everyone's going to experience that. And it's just, that you're experiencing doesn't mean, that we don't experience what you experience doesn't mean you didn't experience it. It didn't happen. It's just like your imagination. It's a personal relationship. That's an encouragement from Krishna. Give it a label. It's an encouragement from Krishna. He's not going to do the same thing tomorrow. He may, but it's a relationship. And so there are 5 things. I said there was 2 things I wanted to respond. There are 5 things. The deity is one, the name is another, the Srimad Bhagavatam is another, service to the Vaishnavas is another, and the holy place where Krishna performs his pastimes is another. I mentioned this yesterday, but I'll repeat it today. While we're here, there are about several hundred devotees, I don't know the number, and they're conducting a Japa retreat like we're doing right by the side of Govardhan Hill. They are having darshan of Govardhan Hill in Vrindavan. for 8 days. So they're experiencing something too, and it's probably different than what we're experiencing. But the essence is the same. It's a relationship with the Holy Name. And the journey, Japa Retreat, and our devotional lives in a bigger sense, it's restoring, reviving, revitalizing our relationship with Krishna. So keep going. Who knows what's next? And you have to wait and see. But it's a relationship, and it's very dynamic. Something on the ladies' side? Is there a brave soul here at the front?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Maybe I want to share something general and something specific. The general thing is I feel like when we are practicing chanting, it's we need to be very sensitive to adaptive.
Sensitive to?
Adaptive. We every day we feel a little bit differently, and we hear a little bit differently, and the practice has to be also modified from day to day. What might work for you in the morning may not work for you in the afternoon, and so I think we need to be active in terms of always trying to search something new that is inspiring, and it's like there's always room for spontaneity and search. It's not a process of repeating. It's more a process of creating and search and deepening the relationship.
That's general.
Yeah, that is something general.
No, something specific.
Yes.
That was general. I can't wait for the specific.
It's the specific aspect is I spent some meditation on the one point you mentioned in the chanting with quality lecture is mantra artha chintanam, and it takes, I think, something that takes an incarnation of the Supreme Lord to distribute must be very, very valuable. And I'm thinking a lot about one verse. It talks about the holy name. It's Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Bhinnatvam Nama Namino. And from this verse, there are two things comes to my mind. One is the Bhinnatvam Nama Namino aspect. I think it's in a sense the sound of the holy name is certainly physical. It's a physical sound that is manifested in this realm, However, if we only say it is physical and is just like whatever physical sound that is going on in this world, it's like saying the deity are just statues made of stone and wood. We didn't. The form, the sound of the holy name is not just physical. It's like the deity. We see. I think it's important for me to practice to see that is. And respect that aspect that it is a form of the Supreme. And the second point is that verse also talks about the sound of the holy name is Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. And I'm thinking how to understand that rasa part. And my reflection is with regard to how Radha and Krishna are manifested. It is said they are one. However, in order to enjoy the rasa of pastimes, they take the form of two. And that holy name is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's the embodiment of that form of rasa. That's why it is a rasa vigraha. And when we are chanting, if we are attentive in bringing Radha to Krishna, that is a way to bring happiness to Krishna, to please Krishna.
I've got 16 thoughts in response to your what you just shared. I'll just express two of them. One of them, this last one, next weekend, I won't be in central New Jersey. Next weekend, I'm going to be in Houston, Texas. And in Houston, Texas, we'll be conducting not a Japa retreat, but a discussion, 13-part discussion on the stages of bhakti. The stages of bhakti are identified by Rupa Goswami as 9 in number, and volumes have been written about what Rupa Goswami has identified. And one of those compositions is Madhurya Kadambini, and the first part of Madhurya Kadambini resonates with what you're saying. And that is, the starting point, it's right in Bhagavad Gita purports, the Taittiriya Upanishad, which most of us don't immerse ourselves in because the Upanishads are very cryptic and difficult to understand, and therefore they're more easily understood in literatures that explain the Upanishads, etc., etc., etc. So, Prabhupada makes reference to it in Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, text number 5, you can look it up later, 13.5. Rasovai saha. That's it. Rasa, vai, saha. Saha is a pronoun. And so the absolute truth is rasa. Vai means certainly. The absolute truth is rasa. So when Krishna appears, why is he appearing? He appears to engage in rasa with his devotees. That's why he comes. He does other things, but they're secondary. The primary is he is rasa, and rasa means two, as you identified. And so he, Krishna, appears to stimulate and engage in rasa relationships with his eternal devotees. So he manifests his eternal pastimes in this temporal realm for those devotees and to stimulate our love for Krishna. So the way that you described it is our chanting is giving an opportunity through the medium of chanting to bring Radha and Krishna together so they can enjoy their pastimes, and we're just assisting, which is great fortune, to be able to assist Radha and Krishna in enjoying their exchanges of love with one another. And we experience something. Part of our sharing is what we experience. But that's what we're experiencing. Krishna reciprocating, and we're providing a medium that is the chanting of the mantra for Krishna to enjoy with Radharani and etc., all of his associates. It's a nice contemplation. It's not easy to meditate like that, but that's an aspect. There's many aspects. It's one aspect of what's going on when we're chanting. And a second sharing is there's a devotee who is not here with us because Paramarupa came here instead. And that devotee that was possibly going to come here, his name is Shyamasundar. Shyamasundar Prabhu is a mature devotee who established, as Madhupati has done here, he did in Houston, established years ago the Houston Temple, and it's a big place with many people. And his focus now is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He shares with me from time to time. He has 140 people, I'll say it again, 140 people that join him every day. Like there's some people that come and go, but every day 140 people every day in a japa call that for him starts at 2 o'clock in the morning because he has people off in India and different places, etc., etc. And in blocks of time, different groups of people come, and then some blocks of people go because their schedule, their time zone requires them to go. And he shared with me that he has this, much like what you said, different. In the 16 words of the Hare Krishna mantra, 8 of those 16, half, are Hare. So he, in his meditation, focuses on, has of late, as you said, it changes. So of late, he's focusing on Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So he's been sharing that with in his calls, people from Portland, Oregon, he shared a little note from someone from Portland. It's really helped my chanting significantly by being more attentive to the Hare portion of the Mahamantra. It's half of the mantra. And so it's a sub-feature of what you expressed, but it's an aspect of Krishna reciprocating with us, or Shyamsundra and his 140 people, with focusing on Radharani and then her aspect of she's the Shakti of Shaktiman, and the two are inseparable, Shakti and Shaktiman. And they're engaging in rasa together. Now that's to process all that while you're chanting. It's not distraction. I mean, it can be distraction. It can be distraction. But at the same time, it's a mature stage, or moving in the direction of a mature stage of contemplation of what's going on while you're chanting. And there's different, there's so many different teachings and teachers of teachings expressing different aspects. But rasa is a core part of who is Krishna and the mercifulness of Krishna. There's more, but I'll stop there. It takes a willingness to plunge into the ocean of mystery through the medium of chanting. The doorway opens and you go through the doorway and you find mystery on the other side. Who knows what it's going to be the next day or the next afternoon or something. And if you like adventure, this is one. That's the doorway into adventure. And things become revealed. You know, not all at once, but things become revealed. It's part of the nature of the merciful nature of Krishna. Someone else on the ladies' side. You're a first-time participant in the Japa Retreat.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. I will share later. I'm giving mic to one Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I am a neophyte devotee.
You are a neophyte devotee. You don't look like one.
And I do chanting in the morning from 4:30 to 6:30.
Good.
But my question is, sometimes I walk in the house. House is silence. So is that okay to do?
Yeah.
That's okay to
Well,
chant.
24/7 is okay. But our lives are made up of multiple things. And so you're going to do some of those things from 4:30 to 6 or 7 or whatever it is. But you can chant while you're doing that.
Okay.
It's not, you can chant, Kirtaniya Sada Hari, chanting all the time. When you, as a neophyte, you, in addition to your chanting all the time, there's a certain part of that all the time that it's just one thing. Not other things, along with the one thing. You're an older generation person. Younger generation persons, you probably know a few, they're encouraged to multi-process. Multitasking, it's called. And it's like, good. You become better by being able to, in the same time you do 6 things. Maybe you get really good, you can do 7 things. And if you're not really good, you can do a few things. But multitasking is, so I'm indicating to a neophyte like yourself, and every one of us, during some part of the 24 hours, there's only one thing. And anything else can just wait. You regulate yourself. You find out a time when you can do just that one thing during that period of time, and just do that one thing. And then the rest of the time, the other 22 hours, or whatever, you can chant while you're doing stuff. Your duties, your responsibilities. Here's one. It's just an example of what I just said. In one city, there was a nice devotee who wanted to know, is it okay if he chants on his beads while he drives? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. He said, you can, Kirtaniya, same answer. You can chant 24/7. But those aren't part of your 16 rounds. When you're doing your 16 rounds, it's exclusive. 16. That many. More is fine, but 64 is good too. But, every day, Every day. Every day. Sometime, every day. It's just, that's it. And something else knocks on your door or something. Unless it's a, emergency thing. You put it, come back later, okay? You got it? Good. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I would say I am also a neophyte, if I can use the same language. We are very new to ISKCON and chanting. This is the first time I have completed even 16. I have never gone beyond 10 rounds. And due to some past recent incidents about my son and all, it was very difficult for me to go into that meditation mode. And when I used to close my eyes or try to chant, all those thoughts were coming, and it was very painful experience for me. So at one point I stopped chanting recently. But today in this temple premises and among the company of all these devotees, I completed like 32 rounds, and I didn't feel that painful emotions, and I was all the time focusing on the deities, the pictures, going around the temple, seeing Krishna everywhere, and I was able to do that. We started late, we reached the temple late, we didn't start at home. So a sort of pressure was building up on me, like, when will I complete this 64? I may not do that. So in the first few rounds I was rushing, then I didn't like that. I thought, no, it's okay. 64 is not the goal.
That's right.
I want to do it. I want to do it from the heart, slowly, but enjoy every name. And I took that one tip or guidance you provided, like treat every Hare Krishna mantra as the first one. That is only one you are doing, as if you're not doing 108 or you're not doing 64 rounds, 16 rounds, but just this is the first one, or this is the only one you are doing. So after 4 or 5 rounds rushing like that, I said, no, this is not good, I'm not doing it properly. Then I stopped and I forgot. I said, forget 64, do whatever happens, but do it in a proper way. Then after that I was enjoying it, and I felt good about myself, and and sometimes I was even feeling those goosebumps on my, I felt it was coming from inside, and I felt very good about that. And one more mistake I did is, today I had a heavy breakfast prasadam, and I was tempted to taste the Mahaprasadam, so though I was not hungry, I ate again. So afternoon I was like, not in good shape, but it took some time. I slowed down, my pace came down, but then I recovered again after some time. I walked around some time, I went and washed my face, and then I felt good again, and I started again. So I know for somebody who is beginning and with the baggage I came, I'm happy that I did this retreat, and I was looking forward for this, and I learned a lot. And I would like to practice more, do more sadhana on these lines. Thank you, Maharaj.
See you again next year. What are you going to tell us next year? Ooh, who knows? Who knows? We don't know. We don't know.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances on your lotus feet. We recently moved to US from India. I was doing my sadhana alone. I have no active association of devotees. I felt like I don't have a strength in my sadhana. So hearing about this retreat, I thought this is a great opportunity to take the mercy of Hari, Guru and Vaishnava. So I try to do chanting many times by meditating on the name, but I used to fail and I get to disappoint. But when I hear your lecture about chanting with quality and chanting with holy name with respect, I again inspired. I try to do Harinam by meditating on the meaning of the Harinam. So today I tried few names. But earlier I used to get very depressed, but today I felt good because you said one point about patience. So this is not going to happen in a day or like at some time. It may take some time, but with the mercy of devotees and Guru Krishna, it'll make possible. So today I felt in the association of devotees, it's a celebration. It's a really retreat to me. I felt Maharaj. Thank you for this opportunity.
Are you going to disclose how many rounds you've chanted?
I have chanted 52 rounds, Maharaj.
62.
I just had it out. I used when I start chanting every day, I meditate 3 points. One is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra with clear pronunciation. And second point, hearing the vibration. And third point, meditating on the meaning. But when I record my chanting, I used to fail in the first point itself. I used to swallow Hare Hare in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So my question is, as I'm lacking in chanting, so do you have to concentrate on first point or...
have to do what? Concentrate on?
Pronunciation?
Well, it's all three.
Oh, all three.
You want to know, your question is a question that was asked earlier. Which one is most important? This one, or this one? They're all important.
Okay. So
the essence is the name. Okay. And whatever helps, take it.
Okay. So all three should go?
Yes, they all help.
Okay.
Here's a trick. I think because I started late, we're already into the next activity. This is closure. It's a trick. Want to know the trick? If you find that your mind is drifting, sometimes it happens, pronounce clearly. How do you know you're pronouncing clearly? If you're attentive to hearing whether or not you're pronouncing clearly, hearing. It's one of the things that we like to do if there's more time. We have the devotees sit in pairs called dyads. And then we switch. So one's chanting, the other's listening. Krishna's listening. But not only Krishna's listening, the person right across from me is listening. And the experience, two experiences. One experience is it helps the person who's chanting to know that someone's listening. More than when somebody isn't listening. It's a trick. But it helps us because we want to be, good chanters. So we chant nicely because we know somebody is taking notes. But Krishna's listening, so that's... Yeah, there was... The second thing is... I forgot the second thing. I was going to make a point. It just went away. The second point has to do with rasa. And there's the rasa between Radha and Krishna, and then we're the participants in the rasa between Radha and Krishna. And we're being invited into a relationship between Radha and Krishna are enjoying, and they know that we're enjoying, and that brings them happiness, and our happiness is found in their happiness, and that's the rasa in the relationship with Krishna. So it plays itself out on this plane, but it connects with that plane, the spiritual plane, when done nicely. Now back to our neophyte's question. Kirtaniya Sadahari, just constant. And our great devotees, there are some great devotees, presently and previously. I know one of my godbrothers who left this world. He was living in Vrindavan in the later part of his life. You don't have to live in Vrindavan, but he was. And he had a practice. Before the sun came up every day, he would chant 64 rounds. For 16 years, every day. Might have been illness or something, but it wasn't the usual thing that we do in the morning between 4:30 and 7. It was when the sun came up, he had 64 rounds completed. What he did the rest of the day was probably more of the same, but as a vrata, that's what he did. He was experiencing something that we're not experiencing. Most of us aren't experiencing. And it didn't happen, okay, I'm going to chant 64 rounds before the sun comes up. It's not like that. It's a cultivation. Cleansing and awakening, two things, cleansing and awakening, cleansing and awakening. And that's part of the relationship. And it allows us to enter more deeply into that relationship. And as we heard last thing, Rupa Goswami, who knows about chanting, understands that the chanting is nectar. How much nectar there are in these two syllables. It's not the Hare part, just the Krishna part. Because Krishna is rasa and it's sweet. How much sweetness is there in these two syllables? Who can say? And then it's vibrating, then hearing, then the heart in sequence. We're going to end. There's a schedule that says something else happens right now. Something else that happens right now is kirtan, right? Is that in the schedule? Kevalastakam. Okay. So you're going to do something? You're going to go to that little back room there and project Kevalastakam? So thank you all very much, and those that you plan to complete some more japa, please do so. Hare Krishna.